Good? Next. AC. Magnitude or duration? We're sitting in duration. So I want you guys to doodle what is the most ideal thing that can happen to AC. Okay, ready? Ready? Tama? Is it the same? Relatively the same? Okay? All right, next. So do I just skip to the next slide? Okay. I know some of you guys are own CHP today, right? Okay. Does it look like we're in a good spot today? All right. How do we know we're not in a good spot? The 200 EMA is at 460, 470. We are at 310. That means that in order for people to break even over the past year, it has to go up by 50%. Is that good or bad? That's pretty bad. Okay, so instead of tackling what to do, okay, there's not really much to do in terms of market timing this, right? So the question you guys probably have for me is, if I own CHP today, what should I be doing? That's the question, right? So here's the thing. I have two scenarios that I can give you guys, okay? If CHP does eventually rally, and it will because it's relatively cheap. I'm not saying that its prospects are improving, not in its best state yet, obviously, right? But the prospects of CHP are improving. Their local cement prices are stabilizing, okay? So in the bigger picture, at least those things are going in the right direction. Seeing prices go to 450, I'm not sure how long that will take or when that will happen. So the scenario I want to give you guys is that if you guys have another option to purchase, what I recommend is that you incrementally lighten up on this position, right? So that means I don't want you to sell everything, because if this goes up, you will come up here and say, "Dap, sinabi mo, benta ko lahat, tapos umakit siya sa 450. That's not what I said. I want you to incrementally switch if you have a position to switch. I don't want you to sell everything. So an example, if you have 100% of CHP, you take 20% of it and lighten up, and you switch to another stock if there's an option. Does that make sense? And as CHP begins to rally, you want to continue to lighten up as it goes up. Does that make sense? Here's the thing. If I ask you to switch when prices are at 9,000, is that something that you would like to do? But are we at 9,000 today? We are at 7,500. Does that make sense? If there is a time for you to switch, it's probably going to be now. Not the stock now, the current time. Does that make sense? Right? If you're going to switch. You have to remember that CHP, there is a possibility, the downside of CHP is probably, okay, I'm not going to say gone, but it's relatively attractive already at these levels. But there are still lots of headwinds moving forward. Does that make sense? So if you ask me which cement company I'd buy, I would, of course, recommend Eagle instead of CHP. Does that make sense? Right? So if I have an option, I would much rather choose Eagle than CHP. Okay? So in terms of this actual stock, looking at it, the downside is much less, but the probability of it going up is also not as high because it doesn't have the growth prospects that we would actually like. Does that make sense? But it's cheap. Okay? So if you're going to be buying if you're going to be holding CHP, it's not for a technical analysis reason. It's not for a market timing purpose. It's because it's a fundamental purpose. Does that make sense? Okay. Next. Jollibee. Okay. Magnitude or duration? Okay, start doodling, guys. What's the best scenario to happen with Jollibee? All right, ready? Look the same? Look the same? All right? Remember, especially for these companies that are already in duration, if you are mentally prepared with looking at something like this and it moves forward and it starts breaking into 290, should you be buying it? Yes or no? Yes. I want you guys to be mentally prepared moving forward. Got it? Okay. One of the nicer ones, right? Okay. We're down to our last two favorite. Okay. How many of you guys are holding MRC? Hopefully closer to 35 centavos? Probably not. We're probably buying it at 80 centavos, diba? Okay. We can go on about the technical analysis of this guy. So if we say technical analysis, it means that this guy is in magnitude or duration? Duration. So ideal scenario, something like this happens. Yes or no? Yes? How many of you guys are holding MRC that want this to happen? Okay. Wait. Don't take picture yet. Now you can take a picture. Okay. I want you to ask yourselves this question first. Remember what I said, FTSR. Fundamentals, technicals, sentiment, and risk. Right? Is this a stock? All the other stocks we've already talked about, right? Whether it's MPI's regulatory problem or CHP's problem, right? This guy, do you know what it does? Okay, at least CEMEX may negosyo. Right? MPI may negosyo. Kahit may regulatory problem, may negosyo pa rin sila. Ito, ano ginagawa nito? How many know what this guy's doing? Solar daw, diba? Solar. Okay. Okay, guys. You have to remember, whenever you guys are speculating on guys like this, it means what? You should not be in this room. You go to the other room. Does that make sense? Right? If you're going to participate in this, this is the reason why some people can lose significant amounts of money. Because as much as this guy can go sideways and break out, this can also go sideways and break down. And if you're stuck there, walang negosyo yan. If you're stuck with CHP, kahit pa paano may negosyo yan, eventually, baka may laban ka one day. Right? Para sa apo mo, sige, maintindihan ko pa. Pero at the very least, may negosyo yan. If MPI, iiwan mo sa apo mo, maintindihan ko. Yes or no? Oh. Right? Eto, pag iniwan ko sa apo ko, baka wala na natitira. Does that make sense? I don't know. Right? So I want to give you this disclaimer before we move forward talking about MRC. Okay? Now, for those of you guys who bought MRC at 85, 90 centavos, which is, I know a lot of people did, what do we do today? Right? What do we do today? So do you want to hold this for your apo? No, right? That means any rallies this guy you should be looking to take an opportunity to lighten up. Does that make sense? Okay? And if you're lucky, this will make it all the way to 90 centavos. Okay? Pag tabla kayo, anong ginagawa ninyo parate? Bebenta. Good? All right. Brings us to the star of the show. All right. Okay. Wala pa nga nakalagay. Pipicture na kayo. Sandali. Bibilisan ko na lang. Okay. Mamaya mapicturean ninyo yung ano. Okay. If I'm praying, because a lot of my fellow COL customers are purchasing this stock, and I'm praying that it rallies so that you guys will be able to break even. I know some of people, our average price is 20 pesos. Okay? No, don't get me wrong. I know people that have average price at 19 something, 18 something. Okay? At this stage, any rally, it feels like parang ito na, totoo na, third telco na talaga sila. Okay? But if you listen to Boss Edwards, the question that was asked to Boss Edward earlier today, the likelihood of that, I will not bet money on the likelihood of that. You got to think about it like that. Does that make sense? Right? So any rally that happens on this guy, it should be an opportunity for you to liquidate. Does that make sense? Right? I've seen so many people that have lost so much money in speculation. I've seen so many people that have made money in speculation and lose that money again. Right? Just because the stock can go up 100, 200% doesn't mean it cannot go down 100, 200%. Okay, there's no such thing as a stock going down 200%. It can go down 50%. Does that make sense? Right? So in this situation, from 20 pesos down to 7 pesos at its low a few months ago, it's so painful for me to see our customers who made so much money on the way up are calling us and saying, "Sira sistema ninyo." Di ba? Because you have to remember, you guys put yourself in that situation that you are speculating on that stock. That's where the saddest part is. And even if I wanted, you guys had the ability to sell, you still probably wouldn't have sold it. Does that make sense? Even if the system was running and you wanted to sell it, I still don't think you would sell it. Does that make sense? Right? Guys, we have to be accountable for the things that we are doing. Yes or no? There's no one else that's going to be accountable for us. Hindi na naman natin pwede sabihin, kasalanan ni ganyan na binili ko tong stock na to eh. Does that make sense? You want to be good in this industry. You want to be able to do this as a profession. You want to do this as a form of passive income. There has to be a level of accountability on your part that you're willing to risk X amount if it goes wrong. Does that make sense? If certain prices are breaking below a support level, you have to sell it. Yes or no? Yes. Okay? Put yourself in that position. If you're going to buy a stock like this and you're going to be buying it at 18, 19, 20 pesos, you're in the wrong room. You should be in the other side. Does that make sense? You guys are here because you want to learn position trading. Yes or no? It means position trading, you are buying the most fundamentally sound companies on the board. Yes or no? Yes. This guy is not the third telco. Yet. Okay? Does that make sense? All right? So, this afternoon, I want to say thank you to you guys, and I want to leave you with this, okay? To truly understand something, you must first seek the company of those who speak the same language. That means that we are all vulnerable at any given point in time. It means that we always need another pair of eyes to help us go through life. Not just trading, but through life. Does that make sense? Because there are certain things that we cannot see and that we are vulnerable to. And the more eyes that you have, the more people that will help you build your community. Does that make sense? We cannot go through this together. Boss Edward cannot build this organization by himself. That's why he needs April and Juanes and Boss Dino, right? Does that make sense? Right? If you want to be good in trading, you have to find the people that are also good in trading and work alongside them. Does that make sense? And that's something that we at COL really strive for. We really want to be able to build a community of people who want to be able to actively trade the market. And we want, everyone at COL wants all of you guys to be profitable along the way. Does that make sense? So, one of the ways, if you don't want to join COL, another way is, of course, joining our Facebook group, which is COL Trading to Alpha. I am there. I post twice a day on the weekdays, right? And if I see anything interesting, I do my best to be able to update you guys. So I have been asked to help out here, and I'm trying my best, and hopefully you guys can read it. Hopefully the things that I have been able to teach you guys today was very helpful, and you guys were able to learn something, right? And if all else fails, we have full-service brokers like IFA, right, that can help you, independent financial advisors that you can come and then you can ask help for, okay, from, all right? So, thank you very much. I think we have more coming forward, so I won't say bye to you guys yet. Wait.